In terms of Harry Maguire, you know him so well, and I suspect you've spoken to him quite a bit while you've been in the squad together. When do you get a sense of when he might be ready and how much of a part he can play in the group stages for England?
No, of course. I think he's a massive part of this squad, whether he's playing or not. I haven't really spoken to him too much about his injury. Obviously, I don't want to pepper him with questions. Obviously, he's going along with his rehab. Of course, he's getting better day in, day out. So, there's positive signs, but I couldn't sort of put a word on or say when I think he'll be back. Of course, we would like him to be back as soon as possible, but that's down to him and the physio. So we'll leave them to do their work and primarily focus on who's fit and available and be ready for the first game.
How do you see the battle for left backs? There's a few options that Gareth's got, but you're the man with the number 3 in the squad. Do you read anything to that?
No, of course not. I never really look into the numbers. I think it's, of course, down to Gareth what he picks. I think there's competition all over the place, which is brilliant for him. He's going to have tough decisions, not just in my position, but of course all over the park. So, I think we just got to keep working hard. Keep showing him what we can do, and no matter what happens, whether I play or not, I'll be with the team fully 100% and do everything I can to help them, like I said, whether I'm playing or not.
Your club season finished on a low after some real high points and some real progress. I wonder how difficult it's been for you to readjust and think, I've got to go again after that disappointment, and does that give you an extra determination to finish the season on a high with England?
Yeah, I think, of course, a massive low. I think, like you said, we progressed very well in the season, but we weren't just quite there at the end of it. But of course, there's always extra determination and motivation that that was the lowest of lows that could have happened personally for us this season. But luckily we've got sort of a few weeks to put things right and maybe go out on a high after the season. So that's sort of out of the window now. You kind of need to forget about it. This is a new tournament, new focus, and I need to be 100% here and not think about anything else.
Good man. Look, I don't like asking you this question, but it's one we feel we need to. Football's authorities are trying to take some steps to avoid or at least drown out any booing that might happen at Wembley during the tournament. What do you make of that? Is that enough?
No, I think, look, it's really simple. I think George said it the other day. We've had discussions about it. We've all chose what we wanted to do. We all agree it was the right thing to do to carry on, taking the knee. And, it's as simple as that. We'll keep doing that. And we believe in that. And, we won't stop.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Rob. We'll take one from Zoom. John McGarry from the Scottish Daily Mail.
Hi Luke, just ask a little bit about the emergence of Scott McTominay. Could you maybe just quantify how big a player he's become for you, and what's the build up? Obviously this game's now on the horizon at Wembley. There's been a bit of a interaction between the pair of you.
Yeah, we've had a little bit. I think we spoke a bit before we had obviously come away. There weren't too much said. But no, Scott's been brilliant for us this season. I think, even in the final, for me personally, he was our best player on that pitch that night. He's grown massively since when he first sort of made his debut there, and he's an extremely talented player and a very important part for Man United. And you could obviously see that with you can show that the manager trusts him because he's in his team a lot. So he's a very good player, but. It's not just him. When we do face Scotland, they've got extremely good players all around the park, so we don't need to just focus on one individual. I'm sure we'll look into their whole team.
Thanks, John. We'll go back in the room with Steve Scott from ITV.
Luke, Gareth has talked to you as a group about the opportunity you've got ahead of you now. I wondered what sort of impact that conversation had on you, and is it something you talk about as a group after you've had it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think we had a little meeting this morning. I feel like what I got out of it was it was extremely inspiring. Listening to him, and we watched a little video. The whole group, and yeah, like I said, very, very inspired by it, very motivated, and I think of course, after the last tournament, things come out very positive. Although they didn't get to the final hurdle, there was lots of positives to take from that tournament, and we need to take them things into this one and push on even further. And I feel like we can do that.
Gareth obviously reflected a bit back on tournaments past. Do you remember watching your first tournament, which it was, where you were, and who inspired you at the time?
No, I think that you're always watching tournaments. I think the whole country watch them. Obviously, I can't remember when my first one was, but we always had it on in our front room. My mum and dad, especially my dad, was always watching it, and I think it's always unreal to watch the tournaments and to be a part of one. And obviously I was one of them watching the World Cup back in when they were in Russia, and to see how good they did, to see how much the fans were involved in it, and like I said earlier, it was very inspiring to see all that. And we want to taste more of that, and the most important thing is to make the country proud.
And effectively, if all goes to plan, this will be a home Euros. That must give you a huge advantage.
I don't know. I don't want to obviously go into talking about advantage, but it'll be very nice to be able to play most of our games at Wembley. Hopefully, of course, that's the aim, and it'll be very good. There'll be more fans in the stadium, which is another plus to be able to play in front of fans again. So, like I said, we don't want to talk about advantages or disadvantages. We just need to focus on ourselves. No matter where we play, we need to be 100% ready.
Thanks, Steve. We'll take one from Zoom. Matt Nash from the Metro.
Hi, Luke.
Hiya.
Hi, do you look back on the summer of 2018 and how painful that was, and think about how far you've come, especially this season, to get back into the squad?
Yeah, massively. I think it was kind of expected back then. I don't think I was playing much. Obviously, I don't think I was at the top of my form, so I think it was kind of expected. You always have a little bit of hope to be able to get in the squad, but obviously at that point it wasn't enough. But it only motivated me even more to try and get back to my best, to try and prove Gareth that I want to be a part of his squad. And I think obviously with the situation with COVID last year, maybe it delaying this tournament. I think maybe if it was last year, not too sure whether I would have been a part of it. But I knew this season that there was a chance to try and get back in the squad, and I worked so hard to try and prove Gareth that I deserve to be here. And thankfully for him, he's picked me, and I'm here.
Thanks, Matt. Nat Perks, BBC.
Oh, hi, Luke.
Yeah.
I think you're one of only 3 survivors from the 2014 squad. Can you just tell us a little bit about what that experience was like for you, and whether the disappointment of that can in any way play a motivational role for you to make sure you don't go through that again?
Yeah, to be honest, it was an unbelievable experience. Obviously, I was very young. I think at that time, like I said, I was young, a bit naive. I think sometimes when I was in that situation, I didn't realise how big it was, the fact that I was, maybe here at a tournament. What young lads are like nowadays, they just go with it. And I think maybe I did that at that time. And I think, now to be a part of this squad, and I'm a bit more mature and understand things a lot better now. And I think, massive pride, and so proud to be able to be in a 26-man squad, going to represent England at a country is the highest sort of level you can get for me, for my opinion, in football. And I'm just very grateful, and massively looking forward to it.
Would that be your advice then to the younger players, that you don't know what you've got till it's gone, and they should see what you've kind of been through in the last 6-7 years?
Yeah, 100%. I think, like I said then, it's it's an extremely big honour. I don't think the young lads need to put too much pressure on themselves. They got the world at their feet, the talent we've got in this squad. They just need to go out and do their football. What they've been doing week in, week out for their team. But it's just to enjoy the experience. It's you don't get many opportunities like this to represent your country at a major tournament. So I think most important thing is to embrace it and of course enjoy it.